So now let us understand the startup file that is given by default in the hosting layer, particularly the Web API startup file. We'll go back to the solution and we go to the startup file. So for the startup, the first thing that is available is the Swagger is configured for the startup. You have all the default configuration for the Swagger. Then we have FlexSpace registered with the services. So this will register all your FlexSpace dependency with the DI container. Along with that, we give the e-commerce demo dot all the DLL that is starting with e-commerce. We need the assembly there also, and you can have multiple assemblies here. And then we have the primary key generator bridge as a sequential GUID primary key. We'll discuss that in the CRUD operations when we learn. Configure the HTTP context accessor, you should need to be configured. Then host HTTP context accessor. We will get into more detail. I'm just telling these are all required dependencies for Flex to work. Then the automapper is configured here. And then we have the default connection string services connection provider, which reads the data from the app settings, is configured. And this is the section we have commented so that you can refer it when we will get into detail when we learn about the multi-tenant systems. And then the DB context, EFDB context is registered with the container, and the Flex repo bridge and query repo bridge. As I told, this is for the mostly write operations, and query repo will be used for all the query operation. You need both the repository separate, but if you want, you have only one database, keep the connection string same for both the connection providers. So here we have configured the Flex write DB repository EFSQL. So that is there with the base EFSQL server. If you see here, this and this are same. So you can create your own repository, configure your own repository according to your needs if you need it. Most of the default needs are done for you. And then we have the configuration bus services. So the first thing that you do is the routing. There's only one configuration you need to do is the route, which configure the route for one of your command. We'll come and see that when we configure for our CRUD operations. And then here all the bus configuration as I explained earlier is configured, and the Flex bus service bridge is added to the dependency container. So that's all about the configuration startup. And in the program, all the logger configuration is done for you. So by default we are using Serilog here, and underneath we use Microsoft iLogger, so that you can also implement your own logger using iLogger. But iLogger is used across Flex internally.